Now we're going to take everything we've done in sections 1 through 5 and apply it to solving equations. So, y minus 12.5 equals 17. I would need to, actually be using my pencil, add 12.5 to both sides. Since this is a decimal, I've got to line everything up. Tens under tens, ones under ones, and decimal under decimal, which is why I've got 12.5 hanging off the end there. That'll give me y equals, and I'll just write it here real fast so you remember 17 is really 17.0. And 0 and 5 is 5, decimal point. 7 and 2 is 9, 1 and 1 is 2. Y is 29.5. On this next one, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2.7. So let's see. 10.8 divided by 2.7. That's got to move once, that's got to move once. Are we lucky? Does 27 go into 108 perfectly? Yes. 27 goes into 108 4 times, spot on. 4 times 20 is 80. 4 times 7 is 28. 80 and 28 is our 108. So P is 4, but that's, remember, it was positive 10.8 divided by negative 2.7. Positive divided by a negative is negative. So P is negative 4. Here I have T divided by 7.5 equals 4. So we will multiply both sides by 7.5. Multiplying both sides by 7.5, T will be, and I'll just drop down here to do my 7.5 times 4. Remember, I like to put the shorter number on the bottom. 4 times 5 is 20, carry the 2. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 and 2 is 30. 1 decimal place in the problem, 0.5. 1 decimal place in the answer. So the answer is 30. I do not need the 0.0, so I will just say T is 30. If you put 0.0 on, that's fine. I'm not going to mark 30.0 wrong. On the next problem, we need to subtract 1/5 from both sides. That's not a problem because the other fraction is also over 5. So those have the same sign. They're both negative. So keep the negative sign and add the numerators. 2 and 1 is 3. Denominator stays 5. X is negative 3/5. X minus 1/4 equals 3/8. Here, we can see we're going to have to add. But these fractions aren't with a common denominator. So the first thing we want to do, at least the first thing I want to do, well, okay, the first thing I want to do is actually get this thing to let me write. So I need to do that. And now I can write. The first thing I'm going to do is convert the 1/4 into 2/8. The common denominator of 4 and 8 is 8. So 3/8 doesn't even need to change. And when I change 1/4 into something over 8, to change 4 into 8, I multiply by 2. And 1 times 2 is 2 for the numerator. Now I can just take care of this normally. Add 2/8 to each side. X is, 3 plus 2 is 5, so X is 5/8. And lastly, and yes, this really is the last example, 3/5 W equals 3/16. This is a multiplication problem, which we would normally solve by division. However, we would be dividing by a fraction. And you remember we can't do that. We have to KFC it. Well, when we're doing equations, we can kind of sort of cheat the KFC. Instead of dividing both sides by 3/5, we're just going to straight away multiply both sides by 5/3, the reciprocal. On the left side, the 5s and the 3s cancel, leaving W alone, which is what we want. On the right side, The 3's do cancel, leaving me with 5/16.